Yo, Nobuto Osaki, how's it going, my fellow Homo sapiens? This is your boy Uzumaki Hado, and today we have a very special person on the channel. We have Charlie. He top 16 at YCS. It's his first YCS running his brand new deck. Man, oh man, I'm just so hyped up to talk to this guy. Matter of fact, he used to play Magic. He came over to Yu-Gi-Oh! First time at YCS, doing it big. Say hi, Charlie.
Hey, how's it going, man?
So, man, tell us a little bit about this deck of yours.
Okay, so I played Stellar Knight Artifacts, and I wanted to play the original Scythe Control list because it was a really strong deck, and the deck didn't go into the extra deck like I wanted it to, so I tweaked it a little bit and put Stellar Knights in there, and it just ran. I'll go through the deck list. Alright, so monster count. Start with the Stellar Knight core. 3 Deneb.
Oh, okay, 3 Deneb. 3
Altier. 1 Vega and 1 Regal. I know people don't like hearing it, but this is player preference. I preferred to play this over Unk. It crashes with Dark Law. It also does good against the mirror. You can pump your opponent's Stellar Knight monsters, and that was really good for me because there was plays where I would pump their Stellar Knight monsters and then go into Volcasaurus, and they would take like 2400 damage or 2200 damage, and that was just game.
Nice.
1 Vega, because you don't want to run more than that. It clunks up too much. This deck is about going into the extra deck. It's not about the way other Stellar Knights are and falling out of control and getting super value. You get value out of 1 Vega, you don't need more than that.
Impressive, impressive. So you only run 8 Stellar Knights?
I only run 8 Stellar Knights, and I think it's plenty.
Wow, wow.
The artifacts, 1 blue sword, 2 scythe, 2 red sword. This is generic, this is simple. This is what the Scythe Control list ran. The Scythe Control list ran the draw artifact, but I just couldn't fit it in here, and I think this did the same thing.
So Scythe, the Scythe, what do Scythe do anyway?
Scythe makes it to where your opponent can't special summon monsters from their extra deck.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
Against Jadals, they're not going to be able to use their fusions. Against Clipforts, they can't pendulum summon from their extra deck. They can still do it from their hand, so it's not as good, but it's still good.
Wow. Nice. So you just lock your opponent down.
Basically, yeah, you make it to where they can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Against Burning Abyss, the minute I see them go Tour Guide and get their target, I'm going to Artifact Sync them into Scythe, and they're just going to sit there with a Tour Guide and their other Burning Abyss monster and do nothing.
Impressive, impressive. My fellow Homo sapiens, this is a very powerful deck. So those is all the monsters that you're running?
Yeah, 8 plus 5, so yeah, this is 12 monsters. 13 monsters. For the spells, 3 MST.
Oh, beautiful. 3 ghosts.
3 artifact recognition. This really helps the Clipboard matchup. The Burning Abyss matchup hasn't been as good lately. I mean, it's still a great matchup. I didn't lose to a single Burning Abyss player, but these aren't as good just because people started running the Trapless version. This was really good because whenever they would set Fire Lake, you had 6 MSTs, so you're going to be able to deal with it before they even got to blow you out of the water.
Wow.
And against Stellar Knights, they run a lot of battle traps, so you have 6 main deck answers for those battle traps.
Wow.
This also helps when you have a red sword. So, like, if I hit my red sword, I'm going to be able to destroy red sword, set another artifact. Red sword is going to come into play, pop the artifact.
Nice, nice. So when it goes against Cliffords, they just didn't have a chance against this deck.
Cliffords, it's actually still a hard matchup. The original Scythe Control list ran the Trap Tricks and Call the Haunted, so that's an extra MST that they were getting because they would call the Haunted one of the Trap Tricks, and one of the Trap Tricks, whenever it's a special summon, can blow up a back row. So they had extra MSTs. I mean, it's still a decent matchup, but I need to make it better somehow.
Okay.
So after sideboard, it gets better. 3 Rhoda, 3 Pot.
Okay.
The Pot's good. Like this, a lot of people don't like the Pot because I'm running Stellar Knights, and Stellar Knights like the special summon. But turn 1, you want to be able to Pot, Deneb, Altier, and have like a Nova and Sanctum, and this allows you to get those plays. And those plays are what wins the games. It also allows, like, if I'm going to special summon on their turn, I can spend a turn to pot and get something else I need than just trying Altier plays. Like, I think you can't run this deck without 3 pots. It's also an easy sideboard card when you're not on the play.
So it seems like you really took time to actually think about how you were going to build this deck.
Oh yeah, I play tested this deck for at least 2 months before I took it there.
Impressive, impressive.
The 1-of spells, 1 Snatch Steal, 1 Regeki, 1 Soul Charge. This, I'm not going to not play this card, but this card wasn't that great. just because my opponent doesn't get to do things. So like if I ever scythed on their turn and I had a Snatch Steal in my hand, I wasn't gonna take anything because nothing was of value.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
they didn't have anything on the field anyway, so why would I Snatch Steal a tour guide? You know what I mean? Why would I Snatch Steal some basic Clifford monster? Regeki was good. Soul Charge was definitely the MVP of the main deck. It made for a lot of win cons, especially when you're playing Volcasaurus. That dude does amazing damage. So if my opponent was anywhere near between 2K and 3K, I could Soul Charge almost for game with Volcasaurus because he destroys the monster and then they take the damage.
So much power.
For the traps, 3 Artifact Sanctum. This made the deck. This card is just too good. Stellar Nova Alpha. Like I said before, if I have an Alpha, Sanctum, and Deneb, I'm pretty much just gonna win the game because it's just so many answers.
Sanctum.
Sanctum Special Summon is an artifact from my deck.
Oh, okay. Okay. And Alpha negates pretty much anything.
And Alpha goes it counter trap, so it negates anything. So like against Shaddoll players, if I go Sanctum in their standby phase and they're gonna chain El Shaddoll, I'm just gonna negate it.
Oh
and then
man.
They get nothing. Like they just got time walked. They didn't do anything their turn.
You're 43 like I thought.
3 Call of the Haunted. This card's amazing. You know, there was plays where I would have artifacts, they would get killed. I would Call the Haunted back, or if I'm trying to just put pressure on my opponent, I would make Pallades, bounce Call of the Haunted, ditch the Scythe, set the Call of the Haunted, then Call the Haunted Scythe on their turn again, and it was just too much pressure. This card's too good not to play 3. The original Scythe control list ran 2, and I just made it 41 cards so I could play the 3rd one.
Oh wow! So 41 cards in the main deck. Impressive.
The list was too tight, and I couldn't figure out what to cut, and this wasn't gonna get cut. So
Call of Hunter was like the VIP of the deck.
it was definitely the card. 2 Fiendish Chains. It doesn't. The deck list. The original site didn't run battle traps, and I needed a way to stop them from OTKing me or just putting pressure on me. I mean, I make it to where my opponent can't play Yu-Gi-Oh, but this, I needed a recyclable trap, and with Stellar Knights, I could Travare these back to my hand and reuse them.
Oh wow!
So,
Okay.
3 would be too much because I do run artifacts, and like this would just clog up the back row if I ran more than 2. So I think this is like the optimal number. 1 Compulse, 1 Bottomless. These could be either Solemns. I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet. I like this better than both Solemn and Bottomless in this deck. But Bottomless is good against the Clipboard matchup, and like I said, it's not the greatest matchup. It's good, but it's not great. So I think I'm just going to keep this in because I don't want to risk losing in game 1 because I didn't have this in. But I do like Solemn in every other match. So I have Solemn in the sideboard, and I usually just board these out if I'm not playing it.
Okay.
That's it for the main deck. It's 41 cards. Let's go to the extra deck.
This makes like good players so bad. That's the whole point.
1 Deltros. Having the ability to go into Deltros is definitely better than not playing it at all, even though I only went into it like once or twice. And 2 Travare.
So this is how you're recycling your spell and trap cards.
The Travare is how I recycle. Like this, you only need 2 because this deck is so grindy. It's gonna pump out big artifacts that you're putting mass damage on anyways. Like having a site that's a 2200 beater is kind of hard to deal with for anybody. So whenever you do your Travare plays, you're kind of already ahead. Or I mean, even just having a 21 beater is good. So this allows you to recycle Call the Haunts, Fiendish Chains. It allows you to put your artifacts back in your hand to ignition them again or MST them again. So I just kind of looked into this being really good. Like,
wow,
it really makes the deck run.
And you can neg your opponent for 1 card in their hand too.
Really neg your opponent. Like, I mean, not only are you stopping them from playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but you're bouncing it to your hand to where you get to do it again. And then if you use the effect, you just removed one of their cards. Like, it's not fun for your opponent. 2 Castels, basic 4-star. If you're playing 4 stars, you're gonna play Castel.
Yeah.
I saw myself going into this guy at least once a match, but I choose the right amount to play. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Exciton Knight, 1 Cowboy, and 1 Emerald. I didn't go into Emerald at all this weekend, but he's not coming out because you need to have the option of shuffling in your artifacts or your Stellar Knights or even drawing a card. Like, that's what I see myself doing more than anything when I play test it a little bit is sometimes I need to draw a card, and this allows you to do that. And you can't beat that. You can't beat just drawing a free card and then having a monster.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with Alpha allowing you to negate one of your opponent's cards and draw a card also.
You need draw, and that's what I was saying about the pots is, you know, you can't not play them. You need to draw on this deck. I mean, sometimes you don't, but there are hands that you need to draw a different answer because there are 2 engines running in this deck. Onto the 5 stars, I play 1 diamond. I don't think you need to play more than 1 diamond. You recycle it with Trevere. And also sometimes when you play diamond, you just win the game anyways.
Oh, wow.
Unless they have the Snatch Steal, which you main deck 6 MSTs, they're not going to really be able to get around this.
But that was
Especially
shocking.
against Shadal's, you play Phoenix Chain. So Shadal's answer to this is Construct. Like, don't play this against Shadal's unless you have the Phoenix Chain or the Alpha to stop them from going into Construct. If you do, you just win the game because there's nothing they can do to get around this.
Impressive. So that really shuts down Burning Abyss also.
It shuts down Burning Abyss, it shuts down Shadal's. Infernoids, it's not bad because they can't Reasoning, they can't send from deck to grave. It's not bad. 1 Artifact Durandal, 1 Volcasaurus, 1 Pallades. It didn't go into Durandal at all, but I'm not taking him out. He is really good. He's situational, but he's very good. Volcasaurus was the MVP this weekend. There were so many times that I just soul charged into Volcasaurus, like I was saying earlier. I also, against a Stellar Knight player, I soul charged into 2 artifacts and a Regal. I made Volcasaurus. Oh, well, I used Regal's effect to target one of his Stellar Knight monsters, made Volcasaurus, and then used Volcasaurus' effect for game. Like, he was at 22, I pumped his Altier, used his effect, he took 22 damage.
Oh, man.
It was too good. Pallades allows you to make really strong plays also. Bouncing Call the Haunted and Phoenix Chains is pretty good, and also leaves it to where you can bounce your opponents on their turn. Like, quick play monsters are really strong, I think.
So you really control the field when you play
Oh
with
yeah,
this deck.
this, like, I answer everything my opponent does, and I answer it before he's able to do it. If you can see, if you play test this deck enough, and you can find out what your opponent's playing, you immediately know how to beat them, and you can immediately play. You do the same thing over and over again against the same matchups, and it makes it to where they can't do anything. Most people aren't ready to play against this, and it's frustrating to play against this. So it kind of puts your opponent on tilt sometimes. Sometimes you just get wins out of pure frustration.
Oh, man.
I play 2 7 stars. I play Guy Charger, which Volcasaurus Guy Charger is too strong. I also play M7. I didn't go into M7, but I don't think I'm taking him out either, just because having the option of another overlay monster is really good.
Okay.
On to the side. 2 Flying Seas. This was amazing. Against Burning Abyss, there was nothing they could do. Also, you recycle this with Trevere. It goes back to your hand.
Oh, man.
So this is just infinite. It's way better than Ojama Trio. I've been trying to stress lately how much better in Stellar Knights this is than Ojama Trio. Having a recyclable card that gets rid of their monsters that's a board wipe is too good. And people side this in against you, and it doesn't do much against, like, Phoenix. When you have Phoenix Chain and you play monsters that you can tribute for, this does nothing against you. I mean, a guy played it on me in top 32, and all I did was tribute it off for an artifact. And he was like, well, that's game, because this was his only answer to me.
Wow.
So,
wow. Okay.
To be honest, this was force back at YCS. I took it out. Force back was not good. Every time somebody dropped a killer or something like that, I drew force back, and it was just like, well, I wish this was an honest. So, 2 honest is the way to go. Sideboard, force back, no, I'm not a fan.
Okay.
2 Imperial Iron Walls for Infernoids. I'm still not sure about this card, but I am sure that the matchup sucks. And they're going to get better, so
Oh, wow.
better keep this card now. It's also kind of good against Shadal's. They can't banish for their baby dragons or BLSs, so it's not horrible. 1 Max C. I'm still debating going up, but 1's all I need. It slows the opponent down. That's all you want to do. This deck grinds. This, like, helps you grind. I see a lot of people playing more, but I just can't fit it. So maybe eventually, but right now 1 is where it's at, because I'm still going to keep a pot in, and I'll take out a pot for a Max C.
Okay.
one dark hole. I don't want to go without an extra board wipe. If there's just something rogue I can't deal with, I'm going to side this in.
Nice, nice.
It's also good against Burning Abyss. Like, yeah, they're going to plus if I don't have Abyss Dweller, but they're going to plus anyways. Like, get rid of their stuff. It doesn't matter if they plus on your turn or not. Like, they're going to plus on their turn anyways. Triple Fairy Wind for those annoying Clipboard players.
Woo, that's that hate.
This is too good. I mean, it hurts you a little bit because you play Phoenix Chain Call in the Haunted, but I think the trade-off's good. You can't not play this card against them. And Triple Shadow Imprisonment. This is a win more card, like I said. You play Diamond, it does the same thing. Anytime I had this, they were already in bad position, but I'm not going to not play this card, and you're not ever not going to side this in. This card's too good against Burning Abyss and Shaddolls, but Diamond is a little bit of a problem for them right now, so it kind of does what you wanted to do already. But yeah, this isn't going anywhere though. I don't mind winning more cards.
Well, Charlie, I appreciate you coming on the channel and showing us your deck profile. It's been a real honor. I mean, to have a celebrity like you right now, top 16 at YCS, his first time, man. I mean, this is really an honor, man. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate y'all watching, my fellow Homo sapiens. Please rate, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching. Matane.